everyone and welcome to another video. Today I want to talk about Bandai Namco's mistreatment of the Naruto brand, especially in the most recent years, considering that Naruto has been relegated to mobile games and only having currently one ongoing console game, and that console game is Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Strikers, which really sucks because I grew up playing Naruto games since the PS2, so seeing Naruto kinda just be only on mobile devices and having a pretty mediocre console game is something that really sucks. I'm not saying that any of the Naruto games were outstanding or anything like that, but they are definitely a benchmark for most anime games, and not only the Storm series. I do enjoy the Storm series to a certain extent, but I think they got really bad after 3, and I think 2 is probably still the best Storm game, but that's just my opinion. So I'm going to start by talking about the mobile games, primarily because they definitely get the most love by Bandai, and we all know why, mainly because they make the most money, which is a no-brainer. Naruto has had a multitude of mobile games since the Storm series ended, and prior to that. I think the best one is still Naruto Mobile, mainly because it does try to change up the mobile game combat and try to keep the Naruto formula intact. But the biggest issue with all of the mobile games that Bandai has started to focus on is that none of them really require effort. For example, Naruto Ninja Voltage has by far one of the most creative ideas. A tower defense Naruto game sounds pretty cool, and especially having it on mobile phones. The problem is that Bandai doesn't really do anything to make it as profitable as Ninja Blazing, and the main factor that goes into this is the fact that Voltage requires 3D models to be made, while Blazing only requires sprites. 3D models require a lot more time, mainly because they need to be rigged and have certain stuff attached to them. With sprites, you can make a few frames and get the point across, and Blazing is a lot more accessible than Voltage as well, so it makes sense why new players and fans will go to Blazing, and the fact that it also does have a lot more new characters that are currently in the Boruto anime and some fan favorites from the Naruto manga. And it's not only the mobile games, because Bandai is still trying to push this Naruto x Boruto brand upon people that don't care about the Boruto character nor the series. And they started it with Storm 4, and they're going into Shinobi Strikers still doing it, which is something that a lot of people do not care about. This is why you don't see a Dragon Ball Super game, because people that don't care about Super are not going to buy a Super game. They will buy a Dragon Ball Z game because they know what Dragon Ball Z is and they prefer Dragon Ball Z, and that same case goes for Naruto. I really wish they wouldn't do that, because if Shinobi Strikers didn't have the Naruto to Boruto tag on it, I'm pretty sure a lot more people would buy it. Along with that fact, Bandai has been playing it extremely safe. They milked the Storm series 6 times before they tried something new, and when they finally did try to do something new with Shinobi Strikers, they decided to go into a genre that was currently seeing a decline because it wasn't as profitable as it was in 2016. That genre being a hero shooter. Back on the PlayStation 2 and GameCube, there were 2 primary Naruto game series, the Ultimate Ninja Games and the Clash of the Ninja Games. The Ultimate Ninja Games were more of a streamlined fighting game that you could pick up and play and anybody could enjoy, while Clash of Ninja was literally just Naruto Tekken, which is a really good thing. Along with that, we used to have spin-offs. We had the Uzumaki Chronicles series, and we had the Ubisoft games like Road of a Ninja and Broken Bond. All of these different games were unique for Naruto as a brand and separated itself from other anime games. Not to mention the amazing handheld games such as the Ninja Council series, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Impact, and Kuzuma Drive. That goes to show just how strong the Naruto brand is when Bandai decides to advertise it. Not to say that Naruto didn't stumble a bit with some of its spin-offs, but most of them did hit, and they at least got 1 or 2 sequels. But in 2008, they decided to find a system that worked, and they continuously milked it till this day. The Naruto Storm series. Storm 1, in my opinion, I think is really good, and back then it used to be the holy grail of all Naruto games. And then Storm 2 came out, and then you're like, oh dude, this is even better. Although the gameplay got a little more simplistic, this is really cool. Then we got Storm Generations. Storm Generations was supposed to be Storm 2.5 that still cost $60 and literally had a storyboard script, but what made it unique was the fact that it actually had part 1 and part 2 characters in the same game before it became the norm. But then we get to Storm 3, a game with a pretty good story until the end, but gameplay wise it was minor improvement upon Generations. Then we go to Revolution, which tried to be a competitive arena fighter but wasn't willing to take the liberties to make itself competitive. And then we finally go to Storm 4, the worst Storm game because it's supposed to be the ultimate Storm, the last Storm game, but yet it's still lacking elements from the 2008 Storm 1. That's ridiculous to me. And the fact that they still have access to the files to give us new quote-unquote characters that should have already been in the Road to Boruto DLC, but they just finally made them accessible without mods, is ridiculous. And that goes to show just how little Bandai cares to improve upon making their games better. What I'd like to see is them make something accustomed to a fighting game again. Preferably in the same vein as Clash of the Ninja. Take the Soul Calibur developers or the Tekken team and mix them together and make a Naruto fighting game, because Dragon Ball has already shown that it can do that with Fighters. Fighters is one of the most popular fighting games of all time, primarily because it's Dragon Ball. Naruto could do the same thing, but I doubt we're gonna get that, mainly because I feel like Bandai looks at Naruto the same way that they look at Bleach, as if it's a relic of the past. The last Bleach we got was on a PS3, and I don't think that's really respectable, because Bleach as a series has its own 2 feet to stand on, and they have multiple arcs they could adapt into games like they constantly do with the Pirate Warriors One Piece games. But Bandai doesn't care. As long as they make money, they don't care what content they push out, and that really goes to show just how brain dead anime fans are. They'll buy the same game with a new skin, whether it's My Hero, One Piece, Dragon Ball, anything. As long as it has their favorite anime on it, they will buy it regardless of the fact if it's good or bad. And they'll lie to themselves and tell themselves it's the best anime game of all time. I just really hate to see that Naruto is getting pushed to the wayside while Dragon Ball and One Piece still are treated like they're the main income from Bandai, when Naruto has proven that it's just as profitable or even more profitable than both series at times.